So you think you're prepared. Oh, I hope you are. You've probably got the EDC pack in your car. You've got a go bag next to your back door. You've got some canned goods and extra toilet paper, of course. You even have some chickens out back. But have you addressed your health? I'm talking about the health that's going to get you through the days ahead that you're preparing to live through. It's a white elephant none of us wants to talk about because we just want to say, please make it go away, but it's one of the most important. So in the next few minutes, we're going to take just 5 of the top important protocols that any of us can incorporate into our daily life that is going to lengthen the days that we live ahead and prepare us for using all those supplies and all that homestead that we hope to live to enjoy for many years to come. Let's jump in. We're going to address water. It's something all of us needs to think about. So you've looked at your water and it appears to be clean. You don't see anything swimming around in it. That's great. That doesn't mean that it's healthy or going to give you a long life if you drink that. So I want to encourage this protocol is an easy one you can incorporate today. And that is go out and buy yourself the best water filter money can buy, whatever you have a budget for. I'll be honest, I'm not a wealthy person as dollars go, and so no, I haven't been able to afford the very best, but I did save up my money and buy a big Berkey water filter at an auction. I would encourage you to do something the same. Keep your eye out on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever kind of chat boards you have in your area that show what people are selling, because you might be able to pick up one cheaper than what you would have to pay full price. But a big Berkey water filter is going to be fantastic. Also, and let me just say, the reason why a big Berkey is something I would recommend highly is because it doesn't require electricity. You might say, oh, I'm set. I've already got something hooked up, like a Culligan water system for my whole house. Well, good on you. That is great. But that isn't going to be the solution if the power goes out or the grid goes down. So do consider having an option for either direction. I'll cover the most important ones first. I would say a big Berkey. If you don't have that, at least get yourself a Brita water filter that is a pitcher sized. Those are not that expensive, maybe 30 or 40 bucks at Walmart. Go get yourself one of those, and that's going to filter out what you need it to filter out. But what you're wanting is something that filters out even the chlorine and the fluoride that is in all public water systems. Now, if you by chance have your own well, that's great, but I would at least every year check that water and make sure it does not have contaminants in it or an extra high mineral content or something that might be out of balance. So don't just assume, hey, I've got my private well, that's got to be good enough. Definitely check it out and make sure that what you're getting is the cleanest, most beneficial water for yourself. Also, another off-grid way is a distiller, and I bought one of those on Amazon. I'll show you a picture of it. You can get one many different places, but requires no power, but will give you a distilled water. Now, if you do something like the distilled water or what I mentioned next, which is going to be a reverse osmosis system or like a dehumidifier, those things take a lot out of the water and you need to replace them with something. So I'm going to recommend you take just a pinch of pink Himalayan salt, the best you can get, and just put a little pinch of that salt in there so that it replenishes some of the minerals that have been stripped out while it was stripping out all the bad stuff too. All right? Now, if you do have power and you can't afford it, I would highly recommend you get something like a reverse osmosis water system. That's going to take every kind of bad thing out of it, but it also strips the good stuff too. So, like I said, a pinch of that salt is going to help. Those systems are pretty expensive and they are dependent on a very specific filter that's going to have to be replaced. So get yourself some extra filters because you're going to want those. Another thing I would recommend is like the water softener system for your whole house. And if you can't afford that, you could invest in something. I know Berkey makes them, and there are several other companies now that make those. A shower head that is going to filter out the chlorine and fluoride and such so that when you're taking your showers, you're not having your skin just drenched continually with that hot water that's opening all your pores and making your skin absorb all of whatever is in the local water system. Now, if you do invest in that full home water filtration system through Culligan that softens the water, that's going to be great for your skin, but you're also going to have to buy a second water filter or have one that you have to replace often underneath your sink that makes it drinkable so that you've got good water on your skin and you've got another filter that's required to drink with. So there's a lot to that. Now, I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to go out and do your own research because there's so much more to this. But here's to the power of long, healthy lives that are based on starting with clean water. Now, I love this one, and you're hearing me correct when I say, turn off the Wi-Fi. I know you're wanting to shut me down and say we can't do that in our home, but I'm here to tell you there are some practical ways I'm going to tell you how you can do this. First of all, an easy way, have all of the family keep their phones out of the bedroom. When you go to bed at night, have your phones in the living room or the kitchen or wherever, somewhere else. If you do have to have it next to your bed, which some of you may feel like you really do, I want you to turn off the little Wi-Fi symbol on it so that it isn't continually pinging, searching for that Wi-Fi signal and sucking it toward you right there next to it. Just turn it on airplane mode or whatever you need to do, but turn off the Wi-Fi, okay? And turn off the little cellular data. Both of those are things you can do if it has to be next to your bed. Better yet, I carry one of these everywhere I go. It's an EMP-proof Faraday bag, and I have one in my purse. I keep one in the car. I keep one in my briefcase. And so everywhere I go, the silver lining on this is going to protect my phone. So all I have to do is slip it into there and turn over the top, and I have got absolutely no Wi-Fi signal coming or going, and I can keep it right next to my bed. If I needed to hurry and grab it and turn it back on, just pull it right out of that pocket and it's good to go. But I want to encourage you, these are not expensive. I'm not an affiliate for them. This particular brand, you get whatever brand works, but usually quality is going to be at least a small price tag. It's worth every penny. Get yourself some EMP bags, and they do have them in all kinds of sizes, so you can get big ones that are going to fit your laptops. Here's a medium-sized one, and you can get ones that fit great big. So you get what you need, and I get them in a pack where they have one little all the way up to big. All right, there you go for that. I hope that you live in a dwelling of your own where you know exactly where the Wi-Fi is coming into the house, and you can make sure you've moved important furniture and beds away from that area. But this is one simple thing all of us can do. Wherever your Wi-Fi router is in your house, go over to it at night as your last thing before you go to bed and just simply unplug it. I literally do that as part of my nightly routine, and it's getting easier and easier with each day. Now, in the morning, you're going to need Wi-Fi again, so go back, plug it in. Of course, it will be going through the house now the whole rest of the day, that Wi-Fi signal that's incredibly unhealthy for you and unhealthy for your pets and unhealthy for your plants. I promise if you'll do the research, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But I have a solution for that I think is fantastic. All you're going to need is to go old school, but be absolutely fancy with it. And this is what I'm talking about. Remember how we used to plug in with Ethernet? Well, believe it or not, there is a system that kind of marries the old version and the new version together. You can take your Wi-Fi router, plug it into a fancy little box that plugs right into the nearest outlet that powers the router, right? So all you're doing is plugging the router through this little box into the wall. Then plug the Ethernet cord into your router, and automatically, wherever in the house you have the other version of this little box, you can plug in anything just with a regular plug-in right into that box, and you'll have internet. It's a wonderful way of bypassing having to have Wi-Fi going all through the house the whole entire day, but it does send it through the electrical current through the outlets in your house to the other rooms as needed. So all you're gonna have to do is get you something like this. I don't even know what the name is, but this one's called a Powerline 1200. There are much fancier ones and more expensive. This is all I could afford, but it's fantastic. And you're gonna need yourself an old-fashioned Ethernet cord or Ethernet cord, like you used to have in the olden days. Get another one if you haven't gotten one. That's all you'll need to take care of stopping the Wi-Fi going through your house. I'm gonna leave you with 1 extra credit for you to go research on your own so that you don't have to take my word for it. I want you to look up shungite. Yes, shungite, S-H-U-N-G-I-T-E, a very unique rock that is going to shield you from EMP rays, frequencies through your house. It is an incredibly interesting stone, and I'm not being woo-woo when I say it. God has got solutions even for our modern technologies, and I want you to know about shungite. So go do some research for your extra credit. What did your sweet mother used to say? Or maybe you had a mean one that said this: eat your greens. We've all heard it if we were children that had a mom that wanted us to be healthy when we grew up. It was spinach, it was broccoli, it was lima beans, it was asparagus. All those greens were important for us to have in our diet if we wanted to live long. And honoring our mother by eating them would lengthen our days. So this is your protocol that anybody can do, no matter who you are. Eat your greens. I want to make it easy for you though, because I have actually met and have friends who don't eat anything that's that color. Not at all. Not anything, no matter what it is. For you only, you get a pass. For you only, you get a pass. And that is, you can get green superfood cruciferous blend organic Dr. Berg's. Now, I know that there are other versions of this by other people. I'm not necessarily saying you have to buy his version, but this is one option for you, where it gives you in one of these little tablets your entire day's worth of organic super greens, okay? So now you have no excuses. Even if you don't eat anything that color, at least this is your one supplement that is gonna be approved for you to get. Now, I would also say, and eat your reds. So red and green are your 2 colors. If you listen to any of the doctors who know what they're talking about, that try to be as natural and organic as possible, they're gonna tell you that you want all the greens you can get in your diet and all of the dark, rich colored foods like beets specifically. So if by chance you cannot get those into your diet any other way, because of course raw is best almost all the time, or cooked or fermented or any version that is you making it yourself. But if you can't, there are gummies out there that are phenomenal. And this is one that I've incorporated into my diet just so I get my beets in every single day. Let me just read on here. This is 4-in-1 heart formula that has the beetroot nitrates. It has grape seed, CoQ10, B vitamins. Fantastic to have in your diet. Now, I don't want you to have a whole bunch of gummies and supplements that you add unless you literally cannot get these any other way. But these are the 2 exceptions I'm giving you to get your greens in 1 tablet and 2 red gummies. The kind I like are the black cherry, but you can also get these in pomegranate. And I know there are other brands out there that also offer these. But the only thing I've noticed, which these are fantastic for blood pressure support, and after I took them for about a month, I did notice it absolutely made a difference in my blood pressure. And I also noticed that it does give me enough energy that I can't eat these close to bedtime, because I'll be wide awake laying there in bed with just enough energy to keep going. And I want you to be able to wind down at the end of the day. So I use these about 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm really dragging and I want something sweet in my mouth. I go get my beetroot gummies and my heart thanks them. All right, so those are my 2 recommendations for you to get your greens and your reds. And here's your extra credit. I want you to go out and buy a book. You don't have to buy this one, but get one that's good. This is the Green Pharmacy Herbal Handbook, okay, by James A. Duke, PhD. It's a comprehensive and authoritative guide on the best herbs for your healing. I can promise you the more that you learn how to grow your own, the better off you're going to be in the long run. The more that you can learn about what is going to heal you and taste good at the same time, or what you can forage right out of your front yard or backyard, it's going to make all the difference in the world. So while you're prepping with your toilet paper storage and while you've got your go bag by the door, I want to encourage you, don't forsake your health by forgetting how important it is to eat right. Take the things out that shouldn't be in your diet and make sure you've at least added things that are green and preferably organic and raw, things that are red, and get educated, because that's going to help you so much in the long run. I'll make sure I've linked these down below. I'm not any kind of sponsored thing by their companies, and you get what you find, but do your own research, and I think you'll agree with your mama and your grandma and me. Has anyone talked to you about how important it is for you to recognize what your body is absorbing? Now, I'm going to talk about something you may not have even heard anything about, but I hope you have, and that is you can absorb sickness or healing right through your skin. And one way we do that is through the clothing that we wear and the things that we're touching every day, and we forget all about that. We quickly need something to wipe the counter off, and you know what the first thing is I'm tempted to grab? My Clorox wipes or my Lysol wipes. Says it kills 99.9% of all the germs, so that's great, right? And every single thing that is on this is being absorbed right into my skin. The lotion on my bathroom counter, if I turn it around and look at the ingredients on the back, do you know how many things I have chosen willfully to just say, yeah, sign me up. I'll absorb all of those gladly without even questioning or researching. And to get even more conspiracy on you, your clothing. Now, not just the clothing that you've washed in your washing machine with that detergent that has 47 ingredients that are all terrible for you, that you're willingly ingesting through it every time you put on your clothes, but the type of clothing that you wear. Now, in the Bible, we see it mentioned when it talks about things like leather or talks about wool, talks about cotton and linen and things like that that you can incorporate against your skin into what you're wearing. You're going to notice a huge difference. If you'll do the research, which we don't have time to cover right now, but it's so fascinating. You can go and look at the Body Electric. You can read your Bible. You can do some research online about the different frequencies of cloth. And just research, say, okay, what are the frequencies of polyester, which is what most of your pajamas are made of. Probably all of your underwear and bras and things like that are made of. They're all Lycra and your exercise pants that you put on, those are full of Lycra. Terrible frequencies that you are taking on your physical body and wearing around and letting be incorporated into your physical being. And so I want to encourage you right now, if you get a chance, this is your protocol to follow, okay? I want you to go and at the very least, buy yourself cotton bras and underwears. Now, for you men, you can just go with the underwear and the t-shirts that you wear under your clothing. Women, get bras. And for a while, I used to make the excuse and say, there isn't one out there that isn't made all cotton. Well, you know what? Fruit of the Loom makes one. I think it might even be made in the USA. Yay! Get yourself a Fruit of the Loom fully cotton bra to be wearing next to all of your important organs in your body, and full cotton underwear. Wear cotton nightgowns when you go to bed, and get yourself cotton or linen sheets. It's very easy to transfer them out. You'll be so very thankful that you did. You can even get a flannel version that's 100% cotton for the winter months. You can get linen sheets if you like those, and the more expensive that you buy of linen sheets, you'll find they're softer and almost like silk against your body. It's amazing. But the value of this is that when your body is compromised, when you are going through any kind of sickness, you're going to be amazed at the power of the frequency alone, not even counting the detergent you washed them in, but the frequencies alone of those different fabrics that are healing and supportive and health-giving, life-giving to your body versus anything that is made of rayon or tinsel or all the different ones, polyesters, lycras. Get those out of your wardrobe, and I promise you're going to notice an immense difference. And if you have elderly that you're taking care of and you say, how can I help the elderly? Well, start there. It's a wonderful protocol that any of us can follow. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, I'm going to let you do your own research, but Wave Watch, this is your extra credit. Since, oh man, I think it's the 1600s, but it might be before then, they were already researching the effects of frequencies on the human body and what it does to make you sick or well. And there are frequencies of each of your different organs that a Wave Watch is made with, I think 2,400, I could be wrong, maybe more than that, 24,000? I don't know. It's made with a whole bunch. Well over 1,000 frequencies that are tuned to the different parts of your body that might be an ailing situation, that need health, and this is going to help you. I was recently on a cruise where there were so many people that were wearing it for seasickness and nausea and dizziness, and it took care of all of that for them. I'm not going to make any claims that I can't stand behind. I'm just going to let you do your own research. But I do think that this can make a very wildly amazing difference to your health, and I'll let you research that as your extra credit. Here's your one assignment for the day, and you're going to hate me for it, and then you're going to love me for it. I want you to swap out your Apple Watch. You heard me correctly. Swap out your Apple Watch and trade it for a Wave Watch. So go on a quest. I want you to look at the backs of every single bottle of any kind of thing that you are either washing your clothes or washing your body or washing your hair with or brushing your teeth with. Make it your goal this week to search out what you are putting into and onto your body and recognize that it's going to make a huge difference if you start addressing your health even from that level. I know you can do it. So you've got that get home bag or 72-hour pack already ready. It's right next to the back door of your house and you're good to go, right? Have you weighed it lately though? They say we're not supposed to have anything much different than about 30 pounds worth of everything that is needed in that bag. But if you try to carry that even 20 yards, you're going to be feeling it. Think about 3 miles or 5 miles if you had to walk home from town to where you live with that on your back. So here's your protocol that any of us can do, no matter how old or young, strong or weak you feel. I want you to know that one of the most important things all of us can do is strength training. I'm not saying aerobic workouts, though you can do that, and even flexibility workouts are fantastic, like Pilates or whatever you want to do that way. But I'm talking about muscles that you're going to need to carry heavy objects, like a bug out bag or a 72-hour get home bag. You need to have the strength for that. So here are a couple of things that might be easy for you to incorporate in your daily routine. They make resistance bands for people that are very, very strong or people that are very, very weak. And that's okay wherever you find yourself. If you've been through a compromised health situation, you might have lost a lot of muscle mass. So get yourself the one that's extra light and you go and just start stretching that. Let yourself say, I'm going to do this 100 times every day. And you're going to notice you get little bubbles that start growing on your arms that are called muscles, and you're going to be proud of yourself, and you're going to thank Krista for reminding you on that episode of how important that was. Now, there's one for everybody, so get a resistance band that works for whatever level of strength you're already finding yourself at. Also, weight lifting. I promise you it makes a difference. I had a friend recently who was in the nursing home, and I was able to buy a 1-pound little barbell like this that he was able to sit there and make it his priority every day to lift it 30 times each day, just 1 pound. So anyone can do it. And I want you to know it's going to make a difference. This is what's going to lengthen your health and your life, and I promise it's worth your effort that you're going to make. Your extra credit for this, I suppose, would be for you to explore, especially if you're getting older, explore the power of creatine and what that does not only for making your muscles stay strong and not weaken over time, because muscles really quick start to lose their strength if you don't do these routines every single day. But if you take creatine, it's known to help both your muscles and your brain health. And I want you all to have really strong brains for the days ahead. You're gonna need all the strength you can get in that brain. So you might do some personal research on creatine as your extra credit for this one. Today I've given you just 5 of the most important protocols that I believe all of us can incorporate, and it doesn't let any of us off the hook, because these are things anyone, no matter where we find ourselves, can do to lengthen our days on the earth. I want you to be able to do that. So thank you for joining us. If you want the full 21 list, we're going to cover all of that. So make sure you have subscribed so that you get to see all 21 protocols. We just covered 5 today. But for your extra credit, look up the naturopath Barbara O'Neill if you haven't already. Wonderful lady, beautiful spirit about her, but so much knowledge in how to use what God has already put on this earth for your healing and mine. And she's worth being followed and listened to in what she's going to tell you. All right, you've heard from me. I hope that you've been blessed. I hope that you share this with a friend and go out and do some research this week on these things. But more importantly, I want you to realize just how blessed you are. And I want you to take that blessing and find someone to pass it along to today. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, I would love to share a quick word out of the Holy Bible. This is in the very first book of the New Testament, in the book of Matthew, and it's chapter 6, verse 19 and 20. It says this: "Don't lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." It's getting dark out there. Now go out and glow.